Hello, this is Chris Fallon. This video demonstrates completion of Packet Tracer Lab 13.5.1 in the netacad CCNA 7.0 Switching, Routing, and Wireless Essentials course. In this network, we have a home network and an enterprise network. Hosts on both networks must be able to access this web server having address 203.0.113.78. We begin with the home network. Part 1 provides instructions on how to configure the home wireless router and the host machines on that network. Steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. First, we set up the DHCP on the wireless router. Then we'll configure the wireless LAN. We'll set the SSID. We'll use channel 6, and we'll set it for SSID broadcast. And in configuring the security, we'll use WPA2 personal. Passphrase is shown as Cisco 123. And we'll also set the password on the router to Cisco 123. Never leave password as the default value. Finally, we'll configure the host machines. Step 1, DHCP settings. .6 for the third octet, /27.224. Save settings. Our completion percentage goes to 7. Starting IP address is .3 and allow 20 addresses to be allocated by this DHCP server. We have to configure the DNS server. We get it from our address table, 10.100.100.252. Save settings. So that completes step 1. Step 2, configure the wireless LAN. We're going to go channel 6, set the SSID to home SSID, and turn on SSID broadcast. Wireless. Home SSID. That's from the table. We'll enable SSID broadcast. Channel 6. Save settings. Our score goes to 17%. Go to administration. Cisco 123 is the new password. Save settings. Score goes to 19%. Now we're going to configure security, WPA2 personal. Again, the password is going to be from the table Cisco 123. Security mode, WPA2 personal, AES, Cisco 123. Save settings. Score goes to 23%. Actually, in security is where they tell us to change the default password for the router to Cisco 123. Remember to do that. Now let's connect these clients. We have to configure the supplicant on these clients to each connect to the router. First, we'll start with the tablet PC. We're just going to go to config, wireless 0, SSID is home, SSID. They want us to use, we're using WPA2 personal. So WPA2 with a privately shared key, Cisco 123. We should get a connection here. There we go. Go to the smartphone, config, wireless 0, home, SSID, again WPA2 with WPA2 privately shared key, passphrase is Cisco 123. We should get a connection here. There we go. And finally the laptop, a little more involved. Wireless 0, home, SSID, WPA2, Cisco 123. AES is the encryption. And we want to connect. It's not connecting. Let's find out why. Let's go to the desktop, go to the wireless app. Profiles. Let's change the profile here. Edit. Advanced setup. Wireless network. Home. SSID. WPA2 personal. Pre-shared key. Save. Connect. There we go. We have our connection. Let's see what's different in the configuration. Wireless 0. Not sure why it didn't connect earlier. Lost our profile. Reconnect. There we go. Disconnected because I went into the config. That's interesting. So as soon as we go into the config, it turns off. The supplicant disconnects. Go back to the desktop and we select that profile for home SSID. That's the default profile in this configuration. Connect. And we should get a connection. There it is. So that's our home network has connectivity. Let's see if each device can access this web server at 203.0.1.1.78. Copy. Browser. Paste. Tablet PC. Now the smartphone. Smartphone. Desktop. Browser. And the laptop. Now the laptop lost its connectivity because I exited out. So we'll go back in. Select that profile. Connect. We have connectivity. Now go to the browser. And so all three of these machines have access to this web server. And now we go to part 2 of this lab. We have an access point, a lightweight access point that's controlled by this wireless LAN controller. We get to the wireless LAN controller through this enterprise admin PC through its browser. We're going to have two wireless networks, wireless LAN 2 and wireless LAN 5. It's important to note that you have to configure the interface first. Let's get started. We get into the wireless LAN controller from the enterprise PC. Go to the browser. The address of the wireless LAN controller is 192.168.100.254. HTTPS, you must use HTTPS. Admin, Cisco 123. Now again, for each wireless virtual local area network, you have to create an interface in the wireless LAN controller. Wireless LAN 2. We have to go to controller, interfaces, stretch it all the way out to the right, and then we give it the interface name, which in this case is going to be WLAN 2, and the VLAN identifier is 2. Once you hit apply, then we can get deeper into the configuration. We're going to be using port number 1, give the VLAN interface an IP address and mask, and the gateway. Port 1. IP address. Mask. Gateway. The gateway is from our address table. DHCP server is the same as the gateway. Apply. You can see our completion is up to 48% now. We started at 40. Now we configure the other interface for wireless local area network 5. New. Apply. Port 1. Address. Mask. Gateway. DHCP server is the same address as the gateway. Apply. Our completion's up to 55% now. We've configured an interface for both wireless local area networks. Now we need to configure the DHCP scope for the wireless management network. The scope name will be management. Internal DHCP server, again we're still in controller. DHCP scope. New. Scope name is management. We'll go into management and configure it according to these 5 fields shown here: the pool start address, the end address, the network, the mask, and the default router. Pool start address. Apply. Our completion is up to 65% now. So now we've configured the interface for both wireless networks. We've configured the DHCP scope for our wireless management network. Now we need to configure the wireless LAN controller access to the Radius server and to the Simple Network Management Protocol server. We'll use security to get to Radius. Radius authentication. New. Server IP address. Pre-shared secret. Port number is already configured. Apply. Now we go to Management for Simple Network Management configuration. Access to the SNMP server. SNMP. Trap receivers. And we'll give it the address provided. The community name is going to be WLAN. New. Community name WLAN. Address. We do not have IPsec enabled. Apply. Now our completion goes up to 71%. Now we move on to step 4, creating the wireless local area networks. WLANs. It's already set to create new, just hit go. The type is wireless LAN. The profile name, wireless VLAN 2. The profile name is wireless VLAN 2. The SSID is SSID 2, and the ID will be 2. Apply. It's very important that you enable the wireless LAN after you've initiated the configuration of the wireless LAN, enable. And you also have to identify the interface. In this case, it's WLAN 2, the interface which was configured earlier. We have to set up our security. For wireless LAN 2, we'll be using WPA2 pre-shared key. Passphrase will be Cisco 123. And we also have to remember to configure Flex Connect local switching and local authentication. We first apply here in the General tab after clicking Enabled. Now we'll go to Security. Layer 2 Security, we're going to select WPA2, WPA plus WPA2, WPA2 Policy. The pre-shared key is entered down here in this field. Cisco 123. Apply. Notice our completion's at 78%. Now we go to Advanced. And in the Advanced tab is where we select Flex Connect, switching and local authentication. Enable both of those. Apply. Now we go back and we have to create. Now we have to create wireless LAN VLAN 5. Create new, go, paste, SSID, paste, ID is 5, apply. Notice our completion rate is now 80%. The goal is 100%. Enable, and we have to assign the interface, WLAN 5. Without these two steps, the wireless LAN will not be active. Okay, security. Security for wireless LAN 5 is going to be 82.1x. Security for wireless LAN 5, we're still using WPA2, but it's going to be enterprise. So we have WPA2 policy, and down here we'll select 82.1x. We'll enable that. Apply. Notice we're at 84% now. Okay, so we've enabled our wireless LAN 5. We did not turn on local switching and local authentication yet, so those are on after we apply. Now we have to implement the 82.1x WPA2 authentication. Okay, it's defined here that we're going to use WPA2 82.1x. Now we go to security, radius authentication. We've identified our server. Okay, we've identified our WPA2 and our 82.1x implementation of WPA2 Enterprise. Under Security, we've already configured the Radius server. So now we're ready to configure our host and test connectivity. Wireless host 1 is using WPA2 with a pre-shared key. We'll edit this profile. We use SSID 2. Security is WPA2 personal. Make sure you scroll all the way down to WPA2 personal. Cisco 123. Save, connect. And we have a connection. Now wireless host 2 is going to be different. Profiles. SSID 5-5. WPA2 Enterprise, it's the one at the bottom. It's not spelled out completely in this simulation. Login name, that comes from our table. User WLAN 5 is the username, and user W5 pass is the password. Save, connect to the network. It's not connecting. Let's try fast forward time. So where do we start in determining the problem with wireless host 2 not connecting? The host has to associate first with the access point. Now the split MAC architecture in the wireless LAN architecture, the wireless access point, the wireless LAN controller, is responsible for authentication and association. So the problem is probably in the configuration of the wireless LAN controller. Let's see. Let's look at our wireless LAN configuration on the controller. Wireless LAN 5. Check security, WPA, WPA2, WPA2 encryption, AES, 82.1x. Let's check the AAA server. The server is not configured. I believe that was the problem. Apply. That gets us to 100% completion. So I'd say that's a high probability of that being our fix. Let's go to connect. And we have a connection. So we're at 100% completion. Let's verify connectivity from these hosts to this web server. Wireless host 1. And wireless host 2. 203.0. So we've demonstrated connectivity, and that concludes this video.